Alright people, welcome to AJ Reviews Films. Today I'm going to be reviewing Lansky, which is the movie about Mia Lansky. In this movie, Harvey Keitel plays Mia Lansky, and the movie's kind of set in 1981, so that's our present when we watch it. And then it goes back in time as Mia Lansky tells a reporter who he wants to write his life story about his life. And obviously the movie follows the story he's telling and goes backwards and forwards, which I think was smart. Firstly, I'm actually going to talk about some things that I really liked about the movie, some of the good points of the movie. The first one that I really liked is when Mia Lansky walks into the diner, everybody turns around, everybody notices him because of his presence, because of his aura, but it wasn't like overstated, it was done really well. The shot of Harvey Keitel in shoes adds a feel of mystery to the scene, which I think was really clever. Also, one of the other subtleties I like about this movie is the reporter that's writing the story about Mia Lansky's life is actually really down on his luck, down, beaten, downtrodden, probably owes everybody money, can't even pay his child maintenance. And it's kind of like you've got Mia Lansky, this powerful, well-off man who is suspected to have $300 million hidden somewhere, and this poor reporter and the friendship they actually create through this relationship of Mia Lansky wanting the reporter David Stone to write his book. And I just think the differences between them, it was so great to have two distinct different characters, and I thought it was a really smart way of doing the movie and a really clever way of telling the story. Harvey Keitel definitely stole this movie, which is basically he should, because he's the star. The way he portrayed Lansky was absolutely brilliant, and I've seen an interview on Michael Franchise's channel with Mia Lansky's grandson, and he said that the way Harvey Keitel played Mia Lansky was spot on. It was just like his granddad, and he said in certain scenes it was like he was watching his granddad. Also, one of the great things about this movie that I really enjoyed was the quotes. There's some really good quotes in the movie. One of them is, "Betray me and there'll be consequences." That's actually one of the quotes that Mia Lansky says to David Stone, the reporter. It was just done so well, it was delivered better than even I done. Because he's Harvey Keitel and I'm just some fella on the internet. One of the things I really enjoyed about this movie is the way they showed the rise of power of Mia Lansky. He starts off as a kid and works his way up. Obviously I don't want to give too much away, but it just shows everything and how he got bigger and bigger and bigger. That's one of the things I enjoyed about the movie, and one of the good points, and one of the reasons maybe you should watch it. There was a point in this movie that I really liked, and I really think I understood what it was trying to get. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a scene where there's a flashback on Mia Lansky when he's at the height of his success, making tons of money, and then it shows the scene as if it's just a normal scene. Then it cuts to David, the reporter, typing in his motel room, and then you can see something goes, he thinks something in his brain, and then he looks under his desk to see if there's a wire, as if like the FBI could read his mind, or he thinks that he's involved in what Mia Lansky done years ago because he's imagining it all and he can see it. And it was just that little moment of paranoia. I'm sure like yourselves, when you've read books or you've watched movies, you've kind of felt like a bit of a part of what's going on because your imagination, and you can see it. And I think that's what happened in this scene in the movie, and I thought that was really clever. Now on to the bad points of the movie. One of the most disappointing things was the flashbacks, especially the first one, or one of the first ones, when it showed Mia Lansky outside the club. I won't tell you too much. And it just looked like a really cheap documentary, or like a not very well funded documentary. The way the flashbacks was done, I just think the cinematography and the filter was too clear. And I don't know if it's because with all the movies I'm used to it not being that clear and kind of being a filter on the screen, or on the camera, so that it kind of seems oldish, and obviously you get a lot of smoke and stuff in those movies, but I just thought it was too clear, and I don't know what the type of camera they used. I'm not 100% sure what the reason is, but it just didn't suit. And also, one of the most disappointing things is, and I mean absolutely no disrespect here because that was just some fella on the internet making a video, but the acting in the flashbacks just wasn't that good. Now I don't know if it was because Harvey Keitel was so good as an older male Lansky. I don't know if I'm kind of comparing it to him, but the acting of the young male Lansky really wasn't that good, and I don't think it came off. And one of the things I noticed is they kind of had different accents or different voices. The guy playing the young male Lansky was kind of putting on an accent, so it was like like that, like a James Cagney type accent, and then Harvey Keitel was kind of doing it more in his own voice, so it was just that was a bit off. And I just think the acting in the flashbacks was nowhere near as good as the acting in the present 1981 day. So that was, that's probably the worst thing in the movie. Lansky was okay. I wouldn't say it was a great gangster movie, I'd just say it's an okay movie. It's watchable. I wasn't bored at any point. It's just that there was certain things that just wasn't right, and I didn't think it was right personally. Doesn't mean you're not going to think they're right. It's just like the little things that I didn't kind of like in the movie. So I would give the movie an okay, and it isn't the best thing since sliced cheese, I'm sorry. If you want more movie reviews, don't forget to subscribe, and also click that video there, that one, to watch more movie reviews. Also, I'll be having a Patreon link down below so you can get more content, more movie reviews, more movie type stuff, and it'll help the channel grow. Peace out.